Hey, I'm Brandon with Pelican State Credit Union, and I'm so excited to introduce you to Natasha with New Day Personal Care Services and all that she's doing for her community. Miss Natasha, thank you again for agreeing to meet with me and just talk to me about what made you start the company and why the elderly population.
Well, I went to school in about, I want to say maybe 2000 for nursing, and I made it into my clinicals, and on my first day of clinicals, I kind of like passed out. And at that point, I figured I did not want to be an RN. But I did become a CNA, and at that time, I started working like contract work, going in and out the hospitals, the nursing homes, and I saw myself interacting more with the elderly. So I knew that this is where I needed to be, because it was like the passion, just interacting with the elderly, and like instead of just passing meds, I just bringing life to them and just excitement. It really drove me, like I have to do something different. I know I don't want to be a nurse, but what can I do? So that's when I decided, let's try home care.
When you first thought about New Day, like what did you envision? Like what did you see your company like doing? What specific types of services, and what has it grown to?
At the beginning, my main objective, my main mission was to serve the elderly, because that was my thing, nursing home, elderly. But then as time progressed, we have kids with developmental disabilities, and now we have a large population of older people with developmental disabilities and mental disabilities also. So I think that God have shifted me from the elderly population just to anybody in need.
What fuels that for you?
Since I was young, I always wanted to serve the community. That started since I was a little girl. So when I became an entrepreneur, I always said that I didn't want to just be an entrepreneur. I still wanted to be out there and do things for the public. So that's when I decided, well, let's do a nonprofit side. My nonprofit operates on a shoestring budget, but I'm able to make it happen because that's my passion and that's my drive, and I'm willing to do what I have to do to just do things in the community.
Your nonprofit, so tell us name, tell us what you guys are doing. And
well, the name is New Day Community Outreach. So basically we are enriching and transforming lives one day at a time. The reason I chose the name New Day in general, because every day is a new day. No day should be operated like the previous day. So we wake up, we start again, today is a new day. So like I said, New Day Community Outreach, where we are enriching and transforming lives one day at a time. It originally started because UL AmeriCorps had this Cinderella project, and one day they were looking for an organization to adopt their Cinderella project. Okay. So I said, oh wow, I'm an AmeriCorps alumni. I had just started my nonprofit, and I say, what better way than to adopt this project from UL AmeriCorps. So that was our initial project, the Butterfly, and we transformed the name. We changed the name to Butterfly Effect. Why? Because we want to transform girls into beautiful queens.
Okay.
So that was the mission for that.
Great. So what types of things you guys are doing like under that umbrella, like the Butterfly like effect, like special projects in particular? I know you. Are you talking about like the dresses?
The prom dress giveaway.
Okay.
We give free prom dresses to girls in need for prom. They go in, they pick the dress, they walk down a runway when they think they have that perfect dress, and before they can leave with that dress, they have to ring the bell that says yes to the dress. So they cannot take their dress until they say yes to the dress, yes to the dress. So this is where it all begins.
We have all sorts of things pretty far back in there. So can you tell us more about the project, or what's the story behind all this stuff in this storage?
So we've been doing the Butterfly Effect at the Northgate Mall. So what happens is we get volunteers, and what we've been utilizing AmeriCorps volunteers since we adopted the program from them. They'll come, and we have some Silver Wings and other community volunteers. So we come here, we remove everything out of this space, okay, bring it to the space for the day, which normally is the Northgate Mall, so that we can do the prom dress giveaway. We put all these railings up first, then we come back, we get the dresses, we put the dresses up, we size them, we see what's damaged, what needs to be cleaned, and we put everything up, we set up the stage, we make sure everything is into place. After the day is over with, A few days later, we gotta take everything down and come back and put it in here.
Oh, how many like kids you guys have seen like come through there? I mean, if you had to like guess, like on any given, like I guess any given year, like
any given year, we tallied each year. We write each girl's name. We have them sign in. We've done it 3 years, and I want to say over 200 girls walk through. Yes. So not only do we deal with the prom dresses, but because there's so much of a need out here, and my office is centrally located, and we come across the homeless, we'll set up, they'll come and get care packages. Another day we may serve food and stuff. So they'll come and they'll get food, we'll feed them and stuff. We'll do entertainment for kids, like we'll do the bunny hop. We've done buku fun in the park. We've done buku fun in at the Grand, only because there's so much going on in the world, and we want to call ourselves a safe haven for families to have family-oriented things to do. So we do things like that. Like I said, wherever there's a need, like for instance, today, we're going to be feeding some evacuees in Bro Bridge because I saw a post on Facebook. Here I am in somebody's inbox answering the call because that's what I like to do.
That's definitely you. Like I said, I can't say enough about that. And we need, more people like you that's in the community that's just not just talking, but actually, putting the work in to see things, move forward in a positive direction. How does it feel to not only just serve the community through your nonprofit, but also being able to employ people and give them opportunities to take care of their families?
It's actually a great feeling. Right now we currently have 11 office staff and we have over 100 caregivers in the field. So for me, sometimes it's I have a lot of weight on my shoulder because at the end of the day, I have a lot of people's lives in my hand. So me as an entrepreneur, I have to make sure that I'm doing the very best that I can to make sure that we are moving progressively to remain successful in what it is that we're trying to do. Because like I just said, I feel to believe I have a lot of people's livelihoods in my hand.
Absolutely. Big responsibility.
Yes.
What's one of the most impactful experiences you've had?
Well, the most impactful thing for me is knowing and seeing that we've made a difference in their lives. Because there's a lot of people out there that truly, truly needs these services, truly, truly needs the extra attention and the extra help. So just being there, being able to make a difference in their lives, transforming their lives one day at a time, that's impactful by itself. Yeah. Just being able to make that. We've had certain cases where we've been called upon just to go kind of like go in the home and clean it up and stuff. And most recently we did that about 2 years ago where it was a welfare check and they happened to find a mama and her disabled daughter. Mama had Alzheimer's. They were living in a home alone. Things wasn't right. We went in there, we cleaned it up. I have some little ladies called the Silver Wings. That's something else that I'm getting ready to pull out. But anyway, long story short, 2 years later, mom and daughter is now our clients. But our reason for going to help them clean up their house, that it was not for that. It's because we want to serve our community. And I feel to believe when God is in the mix, everything is going to come full circle at some point in time. And 2 years later, both mom and daughter is currently our home care clients.
So we talked a little bit about your work in the community with your nonprofit and things. And so I know you're working with Faith to Faith Church of the City. And I want to just get some information about what you're doing with them, some of the projects that you guys have been able to do, and how you're impacting the community through this work.
Yeah, so recently I just collaborated with the church, Faith to Faith Church of the City, because I come from a small church in Ville Platte. Then I didn't tell y'all that my company name was based on New Day Deliverance Holiness Church. So I wanted the company to be attached to God. So I recently partnered with, or should I say joined, Faith to Faith Church of the City, so that God can continue to help me find my God-driven purpose in life.
So what are some of the projects and the things that you've done with them so far?
It's called Reset, to where I provided pictures for the church, where, you know, I had a photo booth. They came and they took pictures and they were able to get it on the spot. And we also have a Fall Fest coming up. So I'm recently just getting involved with the church, but I'm so excited to even see that happen because I know that God is going to be a part of it.
How do you feel like we can promote financial literacy more, or just get people in a space where they can meet their financial goals or dreams?
A lot of our caregivers did not have any checking accounts. They were going from store to store, cashing their checks. So it gave them a vehicle or an opportunity to have their checking account. So I think more counseling services, sitting down one-on-one, letting them know it's going to be okay. Let's see what you've done, and let's see how we can correct any mistakes you've made, and let's see how we can move forward. And just teaching them education is key. Knowledge is power. If we don't offer it to them, then they'll never know.
We love that you promote not just Pelican, but just financial literacy as well, and just the importance of it. And I want to thank you for giving me some time to just learn more about you, and so all of the great things that you're doing in the community. We're proud of you, and you should be proud of yourself. And thank you for watching with us today. If you'd like to learn more about New Day and Natasha, where can they find more information?
They can check out our website at www.newdaypcs.com, or they can visit us at 800 West Congress Street, Suites A, B, and C.